What is up, YouTube? So today I'm going to be doing another top 5 video for roll. We did junglers the other day. If you need to find the link to that video, I'll drop it in the links below. So just click on that. You can see the top 5 junglers with the honorable mention type gods that were almost top 5. We're going to do mages today. We're going to work our way down from number 5 all the way down to number 1. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. Very, very simple. First god up, number 5. I guess first god working our way from 5 to 1 is Chronos. So, Chronos has seen a lot of play over in SPL in Europe. The god is more or less played because it's a safe god that can clear very easily, can farm very easily, can sustain very easily. People are starting Bumbas a lot on gods like Chronos, just so they can go kill off back camps or whatever. And they can stay on the map longer than a lot of these other gods that get poked very easily and just can't clear. Chronos is one, fairly safe for clearing, making sure you don't miss any creeps. He full clears at like level 3 or something like that with a 2 and a 3 combo. Very, very simple, very easy god to play. You just have to understand his play style. It's more late game. Like, you get a Chronos late game, you're going to win if you're not behind. So the idea is to farm, play smart, not make stupid decisions, work your way up to late game. That's why I have him at number 5. Is just because he doesn't have that early game dominance that a lot of people want in their ranked and casual games. But also in these ranked and casual games, it's very, very easy to make it to late game without being very far behind. You can basically afford to make some mistakes and you'll still make it to late game. That's why I have Chronos in here at number 5. Just remember that play style. If you need to see it played, look at the top European teams. They do it very well. Dig does very well with Chronos. Obey, I'm pretty sure it's Obey. No, it's Energy does very well with Chronos. Not sure if Obey plays Chronos. Haven't seen that too much. Haven't been paying attention to them. Mainly Dig. Look at Dig's mid laner. He dumpsters on fucking Chronos all day. Number 4 on the list, make sure I don't get too confused, is Isis. You see a lot of Isis in ranked and casuals. You see a little bit of it in competitive. You saw it for a while and then it kind of fell off. Isis has amazing early game. One of the best level 1 clears. That's still a god that's very safe. Your kill potential is very high at level 2. You're very good at invading. You're very good at securing objectives, like basically alone. So as long as your team is doing the objective, you're in control of whether you're going to get that objective. It's very easy to use. Pop the ult when it's 1,000 health and just explode it once it's at that threshold, and you can insta-kill it. Just know the numbers. Very simple. The downside to Isis, if you fall behind, you're fucked. There are some gods that counter Isis, like Hades. Nox's Silence can do very well against it. These are mid lanes at least. You also are very susceptible to dying if you're out of position a lot. So in team fights, you need to stay around your team. Use your abilities supportively until you get ahead. If you get ahead, then you can just body your spirit rolls hit for like 900 late game, which is insane. Also, we talked about that early game. The late game's a lot worse. Late game on Isis is super falls off unless you're managing to snowball. So the god goes from being very strong early to being a good objective secure mid game to being this weaker late game mage. You still have control. It's just a little bit weaker. It's not one-shotting everybody because of the way your abilities work. Still, the ult's very potent. The abilities are very potent. Just have to understand the playstyle. It's really not that complicated. Number 3 on the list is Ra. You do see Ra a lot. We've always seen Ra a lot. We'll continue to see Ra a lot. Healing is just strong. Even though if it's not crazy instant healing, the ability to reset in a team fight is very strong. Ra's clear is not bad. It's not amazing at level 1, but once you get past level 1, it does very well. He's really safe when positioning correctly. He can sit the very, very, very back of a fight, combo off of abilities, and hit the ult and one-shot people. That is the biggest threat from Ra. That ultimate in a team fight, if you don't know where the Ra is, if the Ra is positioning correctly to a point where he's behind walls, he's out of the fight, and he comes out of nowhere with a snipe, and you die, it sucks. You're not prepared for it. If you get knocked up, you get Bacchus flopped, Sylvanas knocked up, you get hard CC'd, you're able to land the ult multiple people, or just insta-kill one person. It completely changes the team fight. It really does. Like I said, sustain, healing, nice. The mid and late game is amazing on Ra. Positioning is key. Those are the things you just have to remember when playing Ra. It's one of those gods that you'll see people who really, really focus on positioning excel, and those people who just want to be in the middle of team fights usually won't do that well. The heals normally, once you get into a team fight, are going to be used to pull back. You're going to say, let's disengage, let's heal, and then let's re-engage, because most other teams won't have healing if you're playing Ra. There aren't that many great healers in the meta. When Ra is compared to Aphrodite or Hel or Chunga right now, it just does 1,000 times better, and it's a much better pick. So it is a god you want in your mid lane rotation. Now, second on the list, or almost to the top, is Soul. Soul is fucking fantastic right now. It's insane. The god is insane. The burst potential out of the 2 ult combo is extremely unexpected. When using your 3 correctly and knowing when the immunity is going to proc, it's absolutely broken. It's not actually broken, but when people play it right, it feels broken. It does very, very well against almost every assassin in the game, as long as you're using your 3 properly. The ability to be aggressive is there. The ability to sustain because you're building Bancrofts and you also have your 1 for healing is insane. You actually have a little bit of mobility. You have the extra damage out of your 3, which is extremely underrated. And the presence on objectives is super duper high. All these gods, Soul, Chronos, the Hunters, all clear towers and do Gold Furies and stuff in just super fast. It's just like that. Like literally, you'll realize, oh, the other team's going to Portal Demon, and then that shit's gone when they have a Soul and a Hunter on it. It just instantly gets fried. Soul's ability to melt objectives is something you cannot forget. I'd say that is one of the things that puts her up there higher. Her level 1 clear is not insane, but she can pressure out with a good assassin or a Robin, whatever jungler's mid. She has that ability to actually pressure out with her auto attacks because they hit really hard once you get full passive going. It's very, very strong. Definitely not something you want to underestimate. Now, like I said, the early game is not that great to clear. You have to know your matchups. If you're going to lose clear, you're going to lose clear. Play for the mid to late game on Soul. Can't talk. Mid to late game on Soul. Play for the objectives. And play for the insta-burst on your combos. The ultimate does a lot when hitting multiple times. The 2 combo hitting at the exact same time just eliminates people. No one ever expects it. Nobody expects it even after playing against Soul for the last month or 2. Non-stop. Now, the top of the list. Really not a surprise at all. It's Thoth. Thoth has that range we talked about that Ra has. Similar. A little bit farther. Hits a little bit harder. And is one of those things that can also be used just to scare people. It's a Ra ult's going to come out as soon as you use it. A Thoth ult you can cancel. Thoth's early game, a little bit questionable. It is not the strongest early game at all. His clear is not good. His skill potential is not high, but it's not terrible. It's not the end of the world. It's not the worst ever. When you're playing a Thoth, you're trying to get to level 3 quickly, so you have the dash safety, the dash pressure, and then the 1 damage to actually clear the wave. Thoth will do very well pretty much at all facets of the game. He has ability to control objectives with the ultimate. If you decide, all right, we're pulling this gold and I'm just going to Thoth ult it to secure it, that's safe. That's something you can do. It hits very hard and it works. Then you've also got Thoth's ability to team fight from pretty much anywhere within the rough area of that team fight. That ultimate can come out of nowhere. The ones can come over the wall. You never expect it. The good Thoth players are dashing into walls and throwing their 2 over walls. Basically, most of their damage is coming out from where the other team can't see them, and that makes Thoth very, very deadly. And that's one of those playstyles you really want to pick up on Thoth, because late game, you can't dash in front of people. If you dash right in front of somebody, they're going to jump on you, they're going to kill you. So a good Thoth player is going to dash where people can't see them, people can't hear it, where people don't know, and then that stun's going to come out of nowhere. The one's going to hit 3 times, that person's going to be at 25% health, and they'll be like, oh, fuck, what do? I got to back to base. Thoth's team says, all right, we're getting a free Gold Fury. Really straightforward. Thoth just has crazy high potential to do a lot of things. The ability to combo off of the ult is the same as Ra or anyone else. You're seeing a lot of Ninja Thoth combos in the mid lane because Ninja ults somebody up and Thoth can hit that ult instantly before a Kepriel can get off, before the person can jump away. Just got to work on that time. It's really not that complicated, but it is a timing you want to work on. As I said, pretty safe, pretty strong. And the only downside is the early game, the very early game, that like level 1 early game, which can still be, you can even clear against a lot of the other jungle mid combos you have to go against in mid lane. Thoth is a god you want to have in your god pool right now in the mid lane. You just do. If you're watching any SPL, you see it do well. It's a god you want to have in your god pool. Now, with those top 5 mentioned, the reasons they're good, the reasons they're played, their downsides, there are other mages that are worth playing, especially if you're just trying to have fun. They're just not gods that are played all the time, and they aren't the safest. They can't be picked in every team comp. You've got Agni, which is a god that, as long as you can get past that level 1, Agni excels. He excels against a lot of the mages and the assassins that are played a lot right now. You can dumpster an Isis once you get level 5 because you're going to cancel all the wind gusts. You can dumpster anyone who's going to be up close fighting. You can actually do very well against Soul because it's easier for you to poke than it is for a Soul to get a lot of poke off on an Agni. You want to watch out for the Thoth. A good Thoth player is actually going to do very well against an Agni. It's just going to happen. But like I said, Agni does well against Ra, Isis. Just not worth the risk of being counterpicked. There are gods that are going to do very well against an Agni. There's the really, really rough early game, which can just snowball so out of control that it's not worth risking. picking the Agni. That's why I put Agni right above that top 5 spot, more like a 6, 7, 8, somewhere in there. Just to mention some other gods that are good and you can see played, but aren't played all the time. Scylla, Vulcan, and Hades are gods you see a decent amount. Both of those are all good. All those are strong gods. Vulcan's ult's hard to secure and something you're not going to land a lot. The Scylla is way too easy to... You want to go in, you want to position for that damage, and it's way too easy to pull yourself out of position, and it's way too easy to be focused during your ultimate. You see a lot of people like Ra and a Scylla, because the Scylla goes into ult, or Ra's going to snipe a Scylla as soon as the Scylla tries to ult. A lot of the assassins can sit on a Scylla. Yeah, she's faster, but she's trying to get that ult off in a team fight, trying to do some damage. A lot of the assassins like Susano will just dumpster a Scylla while trying to ult. And then my other mention is Hades, just because Hades counter matches against a lot of the mages and a lot of the assassins being played, especially if the support meta kind of shifts to a less mobile meta. You can see a lot more Hades. So those are my honorable mentions, basically my 3 that didn't make it in the top 5. My reasonings for that: you can play other gods in the mid lane. This does not mean these are the only gods in the mid lane you need to play. These are the gods you should be focusing on right now in this meta. The 5 gods you should really be playing the most. Chronos is the newest to that list for me. I really think Chronos is going to slowly work his way up just because people are playing it especially in Europe. They're just playing it in such a way that is amazing to watch. So make sure you go check out those mid laners when you get a chance in the SPL. Watch some SPL games. See these gods being played. And make sure you use this list when you're playing in ranked. I want you guys to win. I want you guys to use the gods that are strong and are doing very well. So use the list. I'll see you all in the video tomorrow.